Okay. Think we are reconnected now. Hopefully the stream is working. That happens sometimes. I have no idea why. It starts off loads of dropped frames, disconnects and reconnects, and then everything's fine. So, yeah, hello. Can't remember when last I streamed, but I have been messing around a little bit today, between other admin and chores and things. So I thought, why not focus for a while and stream this? And let me close all my stuff in the background. Yeah, looks like we live. So welcome, I guess. Making some, I don't know what you'd call this. Weird techno. I'm going to start arranging and add a few new things. This kick, by the way, was made inside Serum. I guess working on kind of a sample pack. I was working on some kicks yesterday. Made a few that sounded pretty cool. So, where's my volume at? Take it outside the group so we can hear it raw. I think this is the one that I used in the track. It's quite similar to one. Bit more of a short, snappy one. Got more knock to it, I suppose. Yeah. This is our pitch curve. This is our volume curve. So even if I hold the note longer, it's only that long. On some of the later ones, I switched it to hertz value so I can change the speed on a more granular level. Then we have an attack. I was trying various different attacks. And then that guy was just a little transient, but then it also was FMing this one as well, or phase distorting it. If I turn this up. That's pretty nice, actually. Then I had tube distortion. Also modulated by this little guy. So the transient is more distorted. That initial impact is more distorted than the body of the waveform. And then I also modulated the volume here. So when it's more distorted, the volume is turned down a little bit. Just otherwise you end up with quite a loud transient. Let's bypass this. You hear what I mean there? Quite a loud transient. And without this guy, just gives it a little bit more knock on the distortion side. You can also see when I press a note, there's a very quick, that same spike is adding some mid-range on the bell curve there. So, and then there's a bit of a high pass, without which, quite subby. So yeah, I had a reference kick, and then I had a couple other references that I played around with as well. You can play around with more distortion. I didn't bother with velocity or anything because I was resampling them using rolling sampler. So in my monitoring chain, I would just grab it like that and yeah, drag it into the project I had. And I did them all at F for now. It's a pretty solid note, but at least I still have the patches if I want to experiment further. I next want to do some claps and hats and other sounds, but it's kind of cool having some of my own kicks. This is the version in the track. I sent it to some reverb. That's dry. Could be drier. And it's made it a bit shorter. That's the normal length. It's my sub, and then I've FM'd this one with that one, or phase distorted it with C. And that's a more familiar FM bass kind of sound, but I have them all at -2. It just adds a bit of body to it. And then I wanted a bit of a transient, so I just found one there that worked. I turned these all off. That's what this oscillator sounds like with the FM, without the FM. I think it's being high-passed. Being high-passed because it's all going to bus 1, where I've got some processing options and this high-pass equalizer. Compressor as well. Utility is making the width a bit narrower. So if we've added some stereo spread, then we can narrow it with that. Without the utility, it's quite wide sounding. And then I've got a bit of reverb on there too. So yeah, this whole chain is part of this preset that I created for myself. If I go back to the preset, that's what it sounds like. I've got a octave up and an octave down when it's a little bit squared off using one of the saturation options inside. Instead of a warp mode, I've used that saturation. I've also high-passed it slightly by the look of it, I guess to make room for that guy. And then I've got this guy. By default it's a saw and can be FM'd from that one, but obviously I can change it to whatever waveform I want. I'm going to undo it and go back to the patch that I made for this. Interesting sounding, I think. Welcome, welcome. Still figuring out the rhythm. This is an interesting chain. Aside from the ducking, I've run it through Boogex, which is like an amp sim kind of a thing. So you've got a cabinet sim over here with a whole lot of different cabinets you can try. Then there's a reverb at the bottom. And it's great for guitar. Sort of you get drive and then you go into the cabinet. So it's quite cool for different guitar tones. But I do sometimes run other things into it just for effect. And in this case, I found a preset I liked and tweaked it slightly. This is without that. And this is a free... Most of the plugins I'm using are free, by the way. This is a free plugin. And then this is by someone called Stepwise. There's a pack if you look for Stepwise spectral VSTs, you'll find it. Without this, very different sounding. And if I move these nodes around, it like completely changes how the sounds. More or less how I had it. Tempted to take off, tempted to have that amp something off. This could be interesting. So this automation here is the dry wet of the morph. So in Reaper, in the top right corner here, you've got a dry wet knob for every single plugin. So there's the little dry wet. It's always in that corner. And I'm just automating that so it fades. So that's sounding more and more like the original sound when it goes to the dry side, basically. Maybe we do the same thing here. I was just dialing down the stereo width of the sound. I like to give things a little bit of space in the stereo field. Just seeing if I can play in some sort of a riff with the sound. interesting. I might have to draw something in here. I like where it's going. I just haven't found exactly how I'm going to do it. Hey, welcome, Half-Baked Beats. Cool name. dirt. Going to create a blank track and use it as a send. This is just a blank audio track. I'm going to send this one there. Let's go full volume. But I'm going to turn that down. I'm going to take this Camel Crusher off, put it on here. Go full wet with it. So now we have a parallel chain that's distorted. It sounds like this. I'm going to high pass it after the fact. Without, with. Could try different ones. Interesting sound. Just going to mute my mic, see what that sounds like on speaker. Hey, what's up, dude? Long time. It feels like. Feels like it's been a few weeks. Hope you are well. Ah, hell yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure what my scaling settings are, to be honest. I needed to record some stuff about Reaper. More on that another time, but yeah, basically I switched to the default skin for it and haven't bothered to change. Hi Nod was one. Hope you're well. I made this kick in Serum 2. That's how it sounds. I think it's got a little bit of reverb on it in here. And is that the right track? No. Yeah, there's literally nothing being done to this outside of Serum 2, which is pretty cool. And then I bounced it to audio to kind of start building my own little sample pack. And then I sent it to this track where I high passed and low passed it and added was experimenting with different distortions before the EQ. And I ended up with this phase distortion. And then a little bit of noise added in with air lo-fi combined with the kick. Without it, just adds a little bit of grit. I'm all about adding extra little layers of distortion and grit these days. Like this has a Boog X, which is like a cabinet sim with distortion, but I've turned down the mix, so there's a bit of a blend there. And then this morph, without that, it's very different sounding. It's some strange FFT effect by Stepwise. Yeah, interesting track. This is just a contact brass with a bit of Camel Crusher on it. I feel like it could be more interesting and impactful. Maybe some OTT vibes. the idea. I was actually originally thinking of octave down, having a re-pitch layer. That sounds much fuller now. From the top. Maybe also have the bass all on one in the beginning. Let's move that. This. Maybe even have the shortened version like this. I should save. Not even sure what to call this, honestly. Pretty descriptive these days. that going. Why no producey, Mr. Stink? Yes, it wasn't all on stream, unfortunately. I was kind of messing around earlier, and then I went out and came back. So I sort of had the beat going, and these sort of those things I had going by the time I went live. I just decided I might as well go live since I'm producing. It's not every day I get to produce lately. I've got so much else to do, but I need to do this for my sanity as well, you know? Like that. I'm going to make all the notes the same length. Is it F2? No. It's Control F2. It's not giving me length. Am I thinking of the wrong shortcut? Shift F2. Nope, it is Control F2. It just wasn't doing it on that note for some reason because it's decided it's mixed. That'll do. I just want a fairly long note. Should be notes. Okay. Aha. Got some interesting things happening there. What are these things? I guess they were something other than notes. I'm going to undo that till that all goes away. I've never had this before. Okay, plan B, quantize and note length. I'm going to go 100%. I guess I could have done just note length. Hang on. Going to undo. Going to go select all, go to quantize, note end only. That's pretty good. Then I'm just going to dial them all back a little bit. I'm using the wrong shortcuts, and how do I bypass snap? It is shift. I guess there's some notes here that are really, really short. Like that. Going to just undo. Oh my word, I'm supposed to go somewhere for dinner. Completely forgot about that. I had better go shortly. It is later than I thought it was. And all right, I don't know. I think I've learned some lessons here. listen through and I'm clicking on this link you sent me, Stink. Thanks for that. I'm curious what this is. Oh, cool stuff. That is a cool sound. Hell yeah, I'm definitely going to chop that up and resample it. Hell yeah. Thanks, man. That's a cool sample. Gotta finish listening through and then we're heading off. I like it. Very unusual for me. Just randomly start a track. And yeah, few things are different, I suppose, that I wouldn't normally have done. And I like that. I actually started with the loop, which inspired this percussion. And then basically made my own version and then deleted the loop. Yeah, I like the grittiness of that kick now as well. Even the hats when they're low passed have this lo-fi but depth happening. Gives them some character. All right, I'm going to head off. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm sure I'll be back sometime this weekend. I don't have massive projects at the moment. Hey, thanks for subscribing, Rick Raddick. Thank you for the follow on the YouTube.